Big week in WoW news. We got an interesting interview from Ian Hazakostas with PC Gamer talking about Mythic Plus. Some other things dropping this week, including Plunderstorm, interesting Chinese mounts at 11.1. Let's get into it. Here we go. So this week in WoW, we know Phase 2 of the 20th Anniversary Classic Edition is continuing on. That means some honor system changes, Dire Maul and World Bosses coming out, so that's great for all of the classic Andes out there, of which I am not one. Take time walking through the Turbulent Timeways. That's right, Turbulent Timeways continues. If you want this little Buzzy Bee mount, you know what to do. Complete 4 dungeons to buff up yourself 4 times over. Get that 4 stack of buff. 5 weeks out of the 7 weeks this event is live, and you will get yourself the little Buzzy Bee. This week will end on Tuesday. That'll be the first week, so if you haven't done it yet, you still got a little bit of time. Twitch drops going live tomorrow, January 14th. That's right. The recolor of the target shield that was once a, what's it called, trading post item will be yours if you watch 4 hours of any stream on Twitch, including this shitty stream. That's right, even this shitty degenerate stream will get you the Twitch mount drop. All you gotta do is watch me for 4 hours. You can also get points towards the giveaway. Yeah, the giveaway, that's right. Oh, whoa, what is this? What are you guys doing here? Watching the news? No, you're not. You're watching a giveaway. That's right, the big double mount BNet giveaway. I'm giving somebody from my stream 2 mounts. All you got to do is watch 1 hour of this shitty stream. You will get 1 point to enter into the giveaway. Once you've entered, I will announce the winner on January 31st. Every hour you've watched beyond that will be another entry you could use for the giveaway. Get yourself your 2 favorite mounts off the BNet store. The Undermined content update is now on public test realms. That's right, some more Undermined 11.1 stuff going out, so why not just get out there and get the 11.1 stuff PTR tested with all the other people doing it. Ian's interview, so I wanted to talk a little bit about this. Ian had an interview with PC Gamer over the weekend where he talked a little bit about the frustrations that have come out with Mythic Plus throughout the War Within. Overall, I'll admit it, the War Within's been a pretty good season. A pretty good expansion, I should say, but Season 1 Mythic Plus was just, I wasn't feeling it. I really wasn't. It's probably some of the least Mythic Plus I've done in a long time, which is interesting because Dragonflight Season 3 and 4 were some of the most Mythic Plus I ever did in my life. So there's a huge contrast there, and that's because it goes a lot towards difficulty, all kinds of stuff, dungeon pools, whatever it is. There's just a lot of things not great about this season. Ian commented on some of that, so here it goes. Mythic Plus participation. To summarize what he said, there was an expected drop in player numbers due to delves and increased rewards for easier dungeons. If players were doing Mythic Plus because it was the best way for them to get loot, and they are now doing delves and raids, or it isn't inherently a problem that needs fixing. So I don't really like the tone of that. So it seems to be that Blizzard's blaming the drop in participation in delves to, drop in participation in Mythic Plus because of delves. While there is some truth to that, and that +8 delves do give you basically what a, +6 Mythic Plus is going to give you, still, Mythic Plus at the end of the day is more rewarding than delves if you push the keys high enough, and people just can't do that because it's overly difficult. Tanking is completely broken right now because of the tanking nerfs, and the dungeon mechanics just aren't that fun, along with the added, mechanics that come with Mythic Plus. So overall, I just don't think it's in that great of a place. Ian's direct quote on this was, the health of the Mythic Plus system ecosystem is a top priority for us. But if people who really enjoyed Mythic Plus gameplay in the past are feeling frustrated today, we agree that is a problem. So at least maybe they're acknowledging that there is a problem with Mythic Plus. I personally feel like there is. I feel like there's less people doing Mythic Plus than there have been in quite a long time. The meta for looking for group invites. They said they completely understand the frustration that comes with finding a group and getting declined. Sometimes there are balance issues, but other times success rates are completely even when comparing a meta spec to a non-meta spec, but groups still prefer the meta spec when inviting. I'll tell you what part of the frustration is with invites and everything else. It's way too difficult. The reason that people aren't getting invited is because the difficulty level is so high right now that people feel like if the IO isn't perfect and the eye level isn't perfect, they're going to break the key. So they're worried about it. They won't invite you unless you're like almost overachieving in terms of what you're queuing for. Hey, I want to learn how to play WoW. What's the best guide and tips to follow? Just get in there and play. It's an easy game. It's an easy game. level up, play through it. There's plenty of guides on online on YouTube. I'm sure if you're looking up things on how to do certain things. But for the most part, just jump in. Have a good time, Aquin. Don't listen to this rat. True. You also don't listen to me. That's good advice as well. Ian has a costas on this question about looking for group invites and stuff like that. The perception matters more than reality here. The data doesn't offer much comfort to someone who is declined because they are the wrong spec. Saint Sinner, thank you for the follow. Welcome to our Scourge. I appreciate that, man. I appreciate it a lot. Season 2 dungeons on the PTR. So here it is. This is about PTR testing and what we can expect out of Season 2 and the changes that might come to Mythic Plus. The current build doesn't reflect updates that are already on internal builds. So that's interesting. That means there are changes coming to Mythic Plus that aren't currently being tested. The goal is trying to rein in the pain points, but also change mechanics that were ignored the first time. They want to make sure the dungeon pool has about the same difficulty, and Tank Busters in the Theater of Pain will be changed in an upcoming PTR build. You know why they got to change Tank Busters from what they used to be? Because it's not like Theater of Pain wasn't a Mythic Plus dungeon before. It was, right? That existed already. This version of this dungeon existed already, but they got to change the Tank Busters. Why? Because tanks aren't as strong as they used to be back when this was a Mythic Plus dungeon. Unfortunately, we're squishy little bitches now, so they got to change the Tank Busters. I wish they would just buff tanks back to what they were. But anyways, Ian's quote on this: at the end of the day, it falls to us to create the conditions that provide everyone who wants to have a fun in a fun dungeon experience with the right level of challenge and a group to run with. As we begin the testing cycle, the health of Mythic Plus is a major area of focus for our design team and for the game leadership. Okay. So at least they're paying attention, which means if you've got good feedback, kick it back to them. Supposedly they're reading it, they're acting on it. Maybe Mythic Plus Season 2 will be better. Good morning, Helena. How's it going? Shut up, Sam. You're adopted. Not true, but that hurts nonetheless. Thank you for saying that. I appreciate it. New Chinese promotional mounts. That's right. Maybe these mounts were adopted by a corrupt system in China, because the way you obtain these mounts is going to blow your mind right now. But here they are. These are mounts that we don't have here in the Americas or anywhere else. This is a Chinese-only mount, okay? This mount was made in collaboration with the Chinese Embroidery Art Museum at Suzhou. So it's basically a play on the Firehawk mount that you can get right from Firelands, but it has these extra like cloud animations here that look really, really cool, actually. This is a beautiful looking mount. People will be able to get this mount along with an interesting Golden Ashes of Alar. That's right, a Golden Ashes of Alar with a black saddle. This one's interesting. Now, how they're going to get the Firehawk one has yet to be revealed, but this one, the Golden Ashes of Alar, oh man, you're going to love how they get this one. Pure degeneracy in its finest form. It is a loot box. Not any kind of loot box, a mysterious Landros loot box that you purchase without knowing what's in it. That's right. This is a loot box with a chance to drop an Ashes of Alar. This is like, this is the most disgusting form of monetization. Thank God that this stuff's starting to be looked at by governments like here and in Europe in terms of how legal this truly is, because this is gambling. This is really gambling. Basically, what they got to do is buy as many loot boxes as they possibly can. $27 per loot box if you're converting it over to US dollars. And then their chance of getting the mount is just they find out when they open it. There's a few other things they can get from these things, but obviously the Golden Ashes of Alar is the one they want. It's the one that, yeah, loot boxes indeed. There's also something called team credits. If they convince nine other friends to also purchase loot boxes, they can all get like an additional loot box. It's disgusting. Literally disgusting. But I mean, this comes from the same country where they've been able to purchase the reins of the Swift Spectral Tiger and the reins of the regular Spectral Tiger. These things were purchasable at one point and are currently worth $1,500 US dollars in China. So it's a different world out there, different monetization system. I hope and pray that these things never come here. If they do, I assure you it will kill the game. Yeah, people will be so pissed they will unsub from this kind of shit. So stay strong, community. The only reason why this stuff doesn't exist over here is not because it's not profitable. It's because the community outrage would be unfathomable. Anyways, moving on to some more relevant things. First look at new delves at 11.1 and the replacement for Zekvir. That's right, so we're getting 2 new delves. We already know this. The Excavation Site 9 and Side Street Sluis. I don't know how you even say that. These delves look pretty cool, right? They look delvish. Yeah, some delves that you would typically see and run through. You do some things, you click some mechanics. You do the stuff, and you finish the delve, right? This one looks pretty cool. It's got some Mechagon-ish feels to it, very goblin-y. But the interesting thing here is this, right? The Underpin. This guy is your replacement for Zekvir. Yeah, that's right, the same Zekvir that I easily one-shotted. This is going to be the guy. The story is, the Underpin Goblin has committed a sin of stealing Bran's treasure and curios from Season 1. That's right, there's a little storyline behind this. In fact, he stole a lot of the loot that you helped Bran get from Season 1. You're going to go into an arena with this character and fight him to the death. That's right, you're going to kill Underpin, and that's how you're going to unlock that interesting, I think we saw it before, it's like a goblin-esque Delver's Dirigible skin, so you'll get that. Same as previously.
Use another
Reaper Kelly, thank you for the 7 months. Oh my god.
Sam.
Good morning indeed. Thank you so much, Death Knight of our Scourge. I appreciate that. You'll unlock this Underpin guy the same way that you did with Zekvir. Completing a Tier 7 delve will give you the single question mark difficulty, and completing a Tier 10 delve will give you the double question mark difficulty. I'll probably one-shot this guy too. You know, Blizzard don't make stuff that's hard enough for me, but I like to relate the people as to the people as a man of the people. So I try not to kill this too early in the season, but maybe I'll have to get in there and teach this guy who's boss. Who knows? Yeah, probably in his dreams. Watch Samiccus in 19K. It's so high definition that I can see his parents' shame and disappointment. It's a true statement. They are ashamed of me and quite disappointed in me and the degenerate I've become, but how you can see it, I have no idea. Anyways, moving on to the interesting stuff coming out this week. We know Plunderstorm is hitting this week. This week, actually tomorrow, depending on where you're watching this, February 14th. So here's a little review of some of the stuff coming out this season in Plunderstorm. Let's check this out. Oh yeah, the Plunder's coming. Hook Talon Mount. So if you didn't notice, there's a lot of purple theme going on here. A lot of purple and black compared to what was seen in last season. Excited to get some of this stuff. Also, all the stuff from the previous season will be available and will no longer be locked behind a renown track, right? We're going to earn a currency now, and you're just going to buy shit. That's how it's going to work. You'll be able to buy the stuff from the previous season, along with all these purple recolors of that stuff in the current season. So, nice looking stuff. This is one of the best Pyre transmogs in the game, honestly. And, of course, the purple mounts. So you'll be able to get all this stuff, have a good time. Plunderstorm was fun for what it was. I'll participate in it again when it comes back out. The 6-month sub was revealed. Remember, it was shadow covered not too long ago? Well, you're going to get this little snaky boy pet for all the classic versions, classic Cataclysm and stuff like that. But more importantly, and what we haven't really seen yet, is the mount. So it has been revealed it is a snaky boy mount. This is the only image we have of it. We don't have any true renderings of it yet, whether it's going to fly or just be a ground mount.
If you looked at that Chinese promotion, Ren equals int of the Spectral Tiger is in the loot boxes as well.
That's absolutely horrible. What disgustingness that could come out of that. I don't know. But anyways, yeah, China's its own world. This is the mount that you're going to get with your 6-month sub if you are, in fact, still 6 months sub to this game. Again, I'm betting it's going to be a flying mount. It's a cool-looking snake mount. Probably a play on the worm mount that we saw back in Shadowlands. I don't know how the animations are going to work on this thing, but it is a pretty damn cool-looking mount, I'm not going to lie. So congratulations to those of you subbed, at least for 6 months at a time to this game. And another thing here, discovered an 11.1 PTR from Mr. GM, a golfing game in World of Warcraft. That's right. Maybe you enjoyed, you know, the Wii golfing games and stuff like that. It looks like there's going to be a world quest that will allow you to mini golf in World of Warcraft. If you don't remember, back in the real world of Azeroth, Gallywix's Palace has a little golf course on it, and I always said, man, if you could play golf on this thing, it'd be pretty damn cool. Well, it looks like now we'll finally have golf in WoW. That's right. A mini game golf game for in 11.1. This is in fact a world quest, and it looks like pretty fun, actually. It looks like something that'll be fun to repeat and do over and over. Have a good time doing that world quest. Last but not least here, we just saw the GPU reveals from NVIDIA and everything else. There are some issues going on with Intel. That's right. If you have an Intel 13th or 14th gen processor, you're going to want to do a BIOS update real quick. It looks like they're causing crashes. Intel has released a statement saying that due to component configuration issues, many 13th and 14th gen Intel processors are prone to developing instability in them. A lot of WoW players are getting this message, the dreaded, WoW has crashed message. Basically, if you have one of these GPUs, or processors, CPUs, you're going to want to do some BIOS updates. They are releasing updates for these. You're going to want to make sure that you're keeping your BIOS up to date because these crashes are going to continue to happen until you, in fact, update your BIOS. Other than that, that is all in terms of news.